Okay, so here's some practice problems that I want you to do. I want you to write down these equations. There's only 4 of them. The first equation is here, VF equals VI plus AT. Here's the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and then the givens or the known values that we have are given here. So in this particular case, you would substitute 20 for VF, 4 for VI, and 5 for T. And then in this one, it wants you to solve for A since there's a question mark here. In the second one, solve for R. Third one, solve for VF. Fourth one, solve for T. Pause the video, take a minute, and do all 4 of these practice problems. And then when you come back, we'll work through them together. Before I show you how to do these, here are the correct answers, just so you can check your work to see if you got them right or not. All right, here be number 1. We had VF equals VI plus AT. VF was 20, VI was 4, and T was 5. So that's where the numbers should have been substituted. There's really no simplification to do after this. We're just going to start doing algebra. We're going to subtract 4 from both sides to get rid of that. 20 minus 4 is 16 equals 5A or A5. And then we're going to divide by the 5 to get rid of it. Opposite operation, it's multiplied. We're going to divide, do that on both sides, gets rid of the 5 there, and then 16 divided by 5 is what we do here, and the answer is 3.2. There's our answer there. Number 2, AC. This C, remember, is a subscript. It doesn't mean anything. It just helps as an identifier. Happens to be centripetal acceleration. We'll talk about that word later on. AC equals V squared over R. And if AC is 6, V is 10. Remember, don't forget to bring that squared down because it's part of the equation. I'm going to solve for R. Remember, if we're solving for the variable in the denominator, and this is the most common mistake that people make, if you're solving for the variable in the denominator, the first thing you want to do is get it out of there by multiplying by that denominator or by that variable on both sides. So we've moved it out of this denominator over to the left side of the equation. And actually, we can go ahead and do a simplification in the same step because 10 squared is 100, so we can put that down there. To solve this, we divide by 6. 100 divided by 6 is 16.7. Here's number 3. VF squared equals VI squared plus 2AD. We substituted our numbers in. VI was 0. We leave the 2. That's part of the equation. A is 9.8. and D is 37. We substituted those in. Leave VF the way it is because that's what we're solving for. Notice what we're solving for is squared in the equation. 0 squared is 0, that's going to go away, and 2 times 9.8 times 37 happens to be 725.2. And we're going to bring down the VF squared here. We have to get rid of this squared now by taking the square root. And the square root of 725.2 is 26.9-ish. And that's our answer for that problem. All right, here's number 4, and this is a fun one. D equals VIT plus 1/2 AT squared. D is 15, VI is 0, and A is 5. We're solving for T. A lot of people get into this one and they kind of freak out because they're like, oh no, I got to use the quadratic equation. And you would have to if VI wasn't 0. And I'll give you a hint. Anytime you're solving for T in this class at least, VI is going to be 0. And it's really beautiful because 0 times T is 0. 0 times anything is 0. So that's going to go away for us. So to simplify this, we have 15 on the left side. 0 went away. 1/2 times 5. Remember I said multiplying by 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So this is 2.5, and I'm going to bring down my T squared. There's my simplified expression. So it's cool because you don't need the quadratic equation. The reason why you don't is because this T goes away anyway, because VI is 0. Now we just do the algebra. Got to get rid of this 2.5. It's multiplied, so I'm going to divide to get rid of it. Do the same thing on both sides. 15 divided by 2.5 is 6. And then again, the variable we're solving for is squared in the equation. So the last step we'll do is to take the square root, and the square root of 6 is not 6. So the square root of 6 is 2.45. All right. And there's number 4.